Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I'm so excited because we have a new launch from Hermes. We've got these new beautiful silky blushes as well as the lip enhancers. So I picked up 2 shades of the blushes as well as 2 of the matching lip enhancers. So what I thought we would do today is do half and half on my face, give you some lip swatches, and kind of give you my thoughts on this new launch, especially for someone who has more dry, mature skin. So if you're interested in seeing my review on the new Hermes Silky Blushes as well as lip enhancers, and then of course ending with an Hermes fragrance of the day, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, I am so excited to play with these new Rose Hermes, the Silky Blushes. And I had to jump on the bandwagon. I ended up picking 2 up first before realizing that they had refills, and I ended up picking 2 of the lip enhancers to go along with my blushes. So I have this in Rose Apricot as well as Rose Tan, and then I have the Rose Tan and the Rose Apricot blushes. And then I realized that they had refills that you can easily just pop out. I'm going to see if I can show you. There's a little pin here and you can pop out the blush. And so I ended up picking up Rose Plume, and I couldn't resist the Hermes blush brush. So those are coming, but they are not here yet. So today we're just going to play with these 2 shades as well as the little lip enhancers. So I thought what I'd do is put Rose Apricot on one side and then Rose Tan. And when I was purchasing these, you guys, I was kind of blind buying them just from the site, and I'm realizing they're kind of in the same tone here. This is going to be a lighter apricot kind of shade, and then this kind of rose tan, which I was kind of excited about to kind of use possibly as kind of like without any bronzer, just kind of that flush of rosy tan. So first of all, I'm going to give you a swatch. So first of all, let's take a look at the compact here. This is beautiful kind of ivory and gold here with the Hermes emblem on top. It comes with a very nice mirror inside, sans my thumb. Sans my fingerprint here, but nice little mirror. And then I love the fact that they actually have refills. And if I had figured that out before I ordered these 2, I would have just ordered the refill. So I'm excited about the fact that there is refills. As far as the formula, so far you guys, it's really creamy. It's definitely pigmented. And this is the shade Rose Apricot. Also going to put this on my hand, and then we have got Rose Tan. And to be honest, you guys, there was so many colors that I was excited for. So I do have Rose Plume coming, a more pink tone here. And I was also super attracted to Rose Ombre that looked like the perfect kind of neutral blush. And again, I may buy that in a refill. So we'll probably have a little bit more fun with Hermes, but so far the pigmentation is beautiful, you guys. It's easy to swatch. I have been playing and wearing these since I got them. So each of the compacts here are going to be $77 US. It's going to depend on if you buy it from the Hermes site or from Nordstrom. I saw them at Nordstrom. I personally picked these up from Selfridges, and I believe this was $70 and I believe this was $70 on the Selfridges site. So if you have a Selfridges account, you basically pay a one-time $55 fee for year-round international shipping. For someone like myself who does YouTube, it's basically pays for itself because the makeup tends to be a tad bit cheaper. So highly recommend Selfridges. They have fast delivery, but understand that that initial $55 fee can be a bit steep, but remember it's for the entire year. As far as presentation, this is part of what we're buying is the presentation, and it shows up in these beautiful Hermes boxes, which I just absolutely love. And the compact itself, you guys, is quite nice. It has a really nice kind of magnetic clasp here. So the packaging gets an A+ from me. And again, you guys, I'm a self-admitted sucker for packaging. So part of why I'm buying this expensive blush is of course to do a review for you guys, but of course I also love the packaging. So I'm going to use the Rose Apricot, and I am going to put it on this side of my cheek, and I just want to show you how nicely these kind of blend into the skin. So okay guys, this is the tone Rose Apricot, and I just thought that that was going to be kind of a pretty kind of tone for coming into the summertime. I'm not someone who tans a lot, so when I kind of lean on these apricots, coral tones, it kind of brings out a little bit of a beachy look on my more light to medium skin tone. And so far what I will tell you is these glide on easily on the skin. They are pigmented, and what you see on my skin right now is going to kind of last all day long. So I did test this out, and this wears pretty well, especially if I set my makeup with a setting spray. This blush will stay pretty much like this all day long. Okay, so we've got one side with the Rose Apricot, and then we are going to put the Rose Tan on the other side. And again, you guys, I did realize these are kind of similar, so I probably did not need both, but I'm just going to show you that this Rose Tan is going to give me a little bit more oomph. And this is the side with Rose Tan. And I was kind of thinking like I could get away with just wearing this instead of using bronzer and blush. Kind of thought that I could just use this as a one-stop shop. And then this Rose Apricot I thought would just be kind of a pretty spring kind of tone. So I can't wait to show you a pink tone so we can kind of play with that. And what I would tell you is if you're more fair to light skin tone, I think you're gonna love the Rose Apricot. If you're a little bit more light to medium tan, I think you're going to really like this Rose Tan color. I'm going to be honest with you, when I went on the website and was looking at all the different tones, I literally wanted to buy all of the blushes. I just thought they seemed so pretty on the models, but I started with two, and then I was so excited to find out that they have the refills, because the refills are much more reasonable and they are $48. So there were 8 different colors launched, all beautiful colors, and my friend Eka, she's at Beauty Luxie. I believe that she bought 6 of them or even more. So if you want to see swatches, you can head over to her Instagram account. She has an amazing Instagram anyways, but I was laughing because she was telling me, oops, they launched, you got to get them. And I was laughing because I'm pretty sure she bought at least 6 of them, if not all of them. So check. So I would head over to her Instagram for some really great swatches. So the blush itself is described as a semi-matte finish. It's embossed with texture resembling silk. It promises to have kind of a finely milled texture, a silky finish that's going to give you long-lasting powder on the face, but as well as a luminous, radiant complexion. And I'm and I'm hoping that you can see on my skin, now that it's been sitting here for a minute or so, it will start to kind of mesh with my skin a bit. It's not going to be chalky and kind of lay powdery on the top of it. It will start to kind of mesh in with my skin, and it will kind of give me a little bit of a radiant glow. I think you can probably see it a little bit more with this Rose Apricot. And again, this is a little bit deeper shade, but you'll start to see that my skin's going to kind of peek through. But I will tell you, when I wore these the other day, literally they lasted all day long. Now I did set it with my setting spray. I usually use the Chantecaille. This is the Pure Rose Water, and the longevity of the blush stayed on my skin all day long. And quick little note, I have dry, mature skin, so I have not had any problem with the longevity of these blushes staying on my skin. I did not feel like they got eaten up. I felt like they lasted pretty typical for my favorite powder blushes, which would be the Chanel blushes as well as my Chantecaille powder blushes. And I was told that the amount of blush you get in here is 6 grams. So I guess if you do the math, that these kind of ring in along the same as your Chanel and your Chantecaille blushes. Those run about 45, but I was told that they have a little less product. I will confirm that, but just that I would mention that if you are blown away from the price, totally get it. These are expensive blushes, and yes, you're paying for the Hermes brand. Okay, let's move on to the Rosy Lip Enhancers. You guys, I could not resist. I'm sort of a prep at heart. Absolutely love the packaging of the Hermes lipsticks, and I have a few other of their lipsticks as well that I really enjoy. I have one of the satins, I have one of the mattes, and I even really love the matte formula in these lipsticks. So when I heard that these were going to be a balm, this was right up my alley, because I'm someone who gravitates towards those balms or those hybrid kind of glossy kind of lippies. And I picked it up in Rose Apricot and Rose Tan to match my blushes. Let me just give you a little close-up of the lipstick here. This is Rose Apricot. And then here is Rose Apricot on my skin. So you guys, this is going to be very faint on the lips if you have more pigmented lips. And then over here we have got Rose Tan right there. And I'm going to give you a swatch of Rose Apricot on my lips. Sorry if I have been calling it apricot, it is abricot. And going to and this is the Rose Apricot, as well as the Rose Apricot blush on this side. Now, as you can see, you guys, this truly is a balm. This isn't going to give me a ton of color. It literally is a tinted balm. And the Rose Apricot is supposed to evoke fresh dew on the lips. So this is supposed to provide a weightless and kind of translucent halo on the lips. So it's supposed to make it your lips but better kind of look. And again, that's something that I really enjoy, especially in the summer. I tend to kind of go a little bit more casual, balms, those kind of stuff. It's got a fine and delicate waxy kind of finish. I will say definitely feels like a balm, you guys. So if you do not like the feel of a balm, you're going to definitely want to pass on these. This is supposed to kind of melt on your lips, leaving a hint of a transparent pink and a matte luminosity. And what this reminds me of is the Dior kind of lip glows. You know how those kind of naturally work with the tone in your lips and just kind of enhance them? This seems to be kind of along that same level, and even the feel is kind of similar to that. So it does feel like it is kind of smoothing out the lines of my lips. It also contains raspberry and sesame seed oil that is fantastic for your overall kind of nourishing of your lips. So I do feel like it is protecting my lips on some level. The apricot is pretty darn light, so I just feel like it is giving me a little bit of oomph on my lips, a little bit of moisture, and I do feel like it imparts just a little bit of that pink tone. Okay, took that one off, and now I'm going to use Rose Tan, and this actually is my favorite. It's going to impart a little bit more color on my lips, and here is the tone up close. Again, you guys, just a tinted balm. And here is the lippy in Rosy Tan. And again, this is the Rose Tan blush. Now, as far as presentation, again, they're going to get an A for presentation. Comes in the adorable Hermes orange box. You will open it up just like this. It comes with its own, almost like a little linen kind of sleeve here. And then again, adorable multicolored packaging. You've got the fresh white, nice gold, and then on the bottom you're going to have either your rose tan bottom or your rose apricot bottom. On the top they've got the Hermes emblem on top here, and these are quite weighty. Now these are $67 tinted balms, so clearly you're going to be paying for the Hermes name, just putting it out there. But my fear is, as far as the balms, I'm someone who likes balms, so these seemed right up my alley. It does feel a little bit waxy. It does definitely feel like a balm. It's not going to give you a huge amount of pigmentation, so I would definitely want to point that out before you shell out your $67. I definitely was purchasing this partly for the packaging, partly because I'm on YouTube and had many of you asking me if I was going to be purchasing these lip enhancers. Between the lipsticks and the lip enhancers, I would say I really prefer the lipsticks. They're going to give you more payoff on your lips, and again, I like both the satin and the matte version, and I'm not someone who typically likes matte, but their matte lipsticks are a little bit more velvety. They definitely even feel a teeny bit waxy, kind of like this, but they kind of feel moisturizing on the lips, and they're going to give you more pigmentation. So that would be my thoughts on these lip enhancers. I would say if you desperately need this cute packaging, go for it, and you have the money to spend. I'm not going to be sad that I own these, but if I was going to pick between a lip enhancer or one of their lipsticks, I would go for one of the lipsticks, just because you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck as far as pigmentation. As far as the blushes, I'm really liking the formula. I'm liking the long-lasting power, but again, you are going to be paying for the name. So of course, there's other blushes out there that you do not have to spend as much money, which has just as good a formula. But if you are a luxury beauty lover, you love Hermes, then I definitely say these are adorable. The packaging is fantastic and the tones are great. I do have the cute, adorable blush brush coming. I have a refill in the Rose Plume, so we will continue to play with these Hermes blushes. As always, did any of you pick these up? What shades did you get? Are you loving them? I always like to hear from you guys as well. But so far, my final thoughts on these products are, if you are a beauty lover, you love the Hermes brand, you love the packaging of these products, and you want to splurge, I would say go for it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed as far as the kind of longevity of the blushes, and that these are nice formula. I do think it gives you that kind of nice kind of lit from within look. And so far on my dry, mature skin, they have lasted all day long. So again, as far as the lip enhancers, this is a tinted balm. You're going to get a light flush of color on your lips. They do feel moisturizing. They do enhance your lips. But if someone was asking me whether they should buy the lip enhancer versus one of their lipsticks, I would have to tell them to go for the lipstick, just because of the pigmentation, and feel like they would get a little bit more bang for their buck. And then of course we finish with the fragrance of the day on this channel, and I do have an Hermes fragrance. I have it from the Hermessence line, and this is Cedre Sambac. So basically this is a beautiful woody jasmine scent. This is going to be a woody cedar based fragrance with a touch of jasmine, you guys. So Sambac is jasmine Sambac. This fragrance was created by Christine Nagel, and I just want to show you the top here. It comes with this like faux leather cap, and then here is the bottle. Nice glass here. You guys, online the notes listed are basically cedar and jasmine. And basically that is what you are getting here. It is quite simplistic, but it is quite beautiful. I'm definitely smelling that jasmine. It almost even has a touch of, it almost smells a little bit like tuberose to me. But you definitely going to smell the woods. So this is very woody. So you have to like woods to like this. When I first smelled this, it did kind of remind me a little bit of Tom Ford Santal blush, but with a little bit more woodiness, with a little bit more woodiness. It was actually, this one's going to be a little bit softer. Now, as far as the longevity of this fragrance, what I have found is that it's going to start out kind of strong and heady, kind of a strong woody jasmine fragrance, but then it's going to soften and it's going to kind of mesh with your skin, and eventually it will kind of feel more like a skin scent. But I actually enjoyed this once it kind of settled down on the skin and kind of opened up into a softer woody fragrance with a touch of florals. So I really like this, but this is what I gravitate towards, are those kind of woody oriental kind of fragrances. This is fantastic kind of for this time of year, this kind of spring coming into summer, but excited to be wearing this in the fall as the weather changes. Especially I think this is going to be gorgeous, like when it rains here and it's a little bit cooler. I can see that this woodiness is going to be just a gorgeous scent and add a nice little layer of florals. So I was asked if I had any Hermes fragrances. This is the only one I have. I have gotten samples of the Ombre Nargilese, which everybody loves. I do love that. I also have gotten a sample of the Vinader Tonka, which I thought was gorgeous. It's a gourmand, but I had not really purchased any of the others. So if you are someone who loves woody fragrances, if you're someone who likes jasmine, you're going to enjoy this. I do think you would enjoy this Cedre Sambac. I think that it is pretty simplistic, but in a nice, good way. So with this fragrance, you're actually getting exactly what it says here. You're getting some cedar, you're getting some jasmine, but it is really a beautiful fragrance in that realm. So that is what we're going to put on for today. So you guys, so far that is my review of this new launch from Hermes. I'm so excited to play with a few more items as soon as they show up. I've got so many goodies to share with you just from all these different launches. So there'll be lots of makeup tutorials coming your way. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.